from the Humorously Speaking Manual, Project 3, Make Them Laugh. Love is an iceberg. Keya Murthy. Keya Murthy, Love is an iceberg.
Now that I love you, let me change you. This is my own preposterous theory. Love is an iceberg. In India, when a girl and a boy are dating, they live in their father's home for free, they eat in their mother's kitchen for free. They are in what we call a bedlock. And then they get married, and that's when the wedlock begins. That's when they do not know the menu on any restaurant item, but they definitely know the price of flour and oil. This is called wedlock. So what happens? What's the third step? First there's wedlock, and then there's deadlock. How do we change that? You don't want the deadlock. So I came up with my own theory as a subconscious behaviorist. We have the conscious mind, which is only 10% of who we are. That's what's floating above the ocean water. And that's what looks like fun, right? But what makes an iceberg float? It's the 90% which is below it. And that is our subconscious mind. Once I saw a bumper sticker which said, "Who would you be if you got rid of your story?" And I thought about it for a very long time. And I said, you know what? I'll be free if I get rid of my stories, when I get rid of my stories. So everything that's going on in your life, in between your ears, is really your story. So when does the story begin? When do you start writing your story in your subconscious mind? It begins between the ages of 0 to 8 with your suggestibility. You have your mother, you're watching your mother, and you're responding to your mother when you're younger than 8. When do kids really ask their parent for anything? When she's on the phone. "Mom, I want a candy." No. Now the mom is on the phone. "Mom, can I have a candy?" "Sure, have a candy." Can you imagine what these kids will turn out to be? They will take in information inferentially because they know when to ask to get. A no does not mean a no. A no just means not now. These kids grow up without any fear of rejection. They just know when to ask. Next, what happens is your sexuality is formed between the ages of 8 to 16. Kids want attention. They look at their mother and then they find out, how does my dad get my mother's attention? They do not care if it is positive attention or negative attention. They just need attention. So they start aping the dad. And that's how they get the attention of the mom. That's why all women go crazy. Because not only are they married to this guy, all the kids also turn out like him. The next thing, as part of our story, is our associations. We have positive associations and negative association. Most of us like positivity. In this new age world in SoCal, everybody thinks, "Oh, I need positive, 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 positive," right? We keep hearing that. But as a physicist, I will tell you, every positive aspect needs a negative aspect to balance it out. Think of a cell. There's a positive end and a negative end. You don't say, good positive, good positive. No! When the two of them become equal, it's a dead cell. You don't need it. Think of a doctor's office. When it's a flat line, there's no more ups and downs. They start unplugging you. So remember, for every positive that comes in your life, there comes a negative along with it. It's your memories. Think of the positive things you like. Maybe chocolate. How many of you like chocolate? Why do you like chocolate? It's the milk and sugar that make you like it. It's actually cacao, which is very bitter. Spinach, broccoli, you don't like them. So life is all about likes and dislikes. In other words, pleasure and pain. We all want lots of pleasure and we want to avoid pain. And that is what's going on in every relationship. So let's come down to what are your stories? Your stories is a summation of your emotions. which give rise to physical feelings or bodily sensations. Do you watch a movie and laugh or cry? Why do you do it? There are shadows on the screen, shadows from the past. They are even paid actors. And you laugh and cry because something within you, emotionally, you get attached to something that's happening on the screen and you have a bodily reaction. You have thoughts that come out of your emotions, your words, and your actions. And an action repeated 21 times becomes a habit. And then what happens to a habit when it starts controlling you? Like the car you jumped in, a panic attack, it's an addiction. That's exactly what happens. So anyway, coming back to, so I can go on and on about this for like 2 days, but I want to explain something very easily for you. So you have your suggestibility, and then you have your sexuality. Suggestibility could be literal or inferential. When you walk up to someone and you tell them, hey, I like you, they say, oh good, I like you too. But if you tell someone, hey, you're looking good, and then they are like, I don't know what they mean by that. Those are the inferential people. Now sexuality, we have physicals who are very comfortable in their physical body, and they are the people for whom the saying was coined, they wear their heart on their sleeve. The emotional people, they are very good at poker. You cannot tell what's going on. They have mastered their emotions. They even think their emotions through. Now you think you know all about personality, right? But no, there are literal physicals and there's literal emotionals. There is inferential physical and inferential emotionals. Now you might be wondering, now where is all this going? And often, more often than not, you will always attract your polar opposite. So how do you figure out who's an inferential and who's physical, who's emotional? This is how you do it. Pretend it's raining out there and you see this guy jogging, wearing just his shorts. Guess who he is? He's a physical, very comfortable in his body. It's afternoon, it's hot and sweaty, and this lady in her big sweats, she's jogging. That's an emotional, not comfortable in her body. So when you look at people, when you see people sitting cross-legged, emotionals. People who sit very comfortably in their body, physicals. So anyway, we always attract the opposite. So what do you do with this? In the end, in any relationship, after everything is said and done, you at least have the experience to go to talk about. And you can either become a philosopher or a psychologist. Mr. Toastmaster.